fucking action. Welcome to the podcast where a guy that ranks movies with a guy that hasn't ranked a movie yet.
Actually, have you ranked movies before?
Oh, no. So I guess
We're
I
both
don't rank.
guys.
Yeah, I guess we're both the guys now.
But-
I am guy. I guess we don't rank. This is our first time doing this.
Yeah, we're ranking the entire Scream franchise.
My favorite horror franchise.
Mine too.
Yeah, this is meaningful to me. I've been watching Scream since Scream was Scream.
I've been watching Scream since October 24th, 2020, I think,
Yeah.
is when we did the podcast
You know the
on
exact
the first one.
You probably watched it the day before.
Yeah, so 23rd then. But
Around Halloweeny time.
yeah, around my birthday too. My birthday's the 22nd of that month.
Yeah.
But do you want to jump right into it? What's
Yeah, so we're going to rank these motherfucking movies, and I think everyone would know what we're going to put number 5 at.
good old Scream 3.
Scream 3. Now, let me say this first. Just because we're putting this at number 5 by no means means this is a bad movie.
Yeah, it's the worst movie in the best franchise, which means
Yes.
compared to other movies, it's still fantastic. It's
Exactly.
just, when you compare it with 4 other great films, it's like
Exactly.
one of them has to be last, and it's
This one because it's kind of fucking weird. The voice changer, a lot of people talk about that. They wouldn't have that now. You know, it's 2021. The voice changer's a little advanced, so it doesn't really make any sense. The soul killer thing, I kind of like that. There's only one killer,
Yeah.
but that's a lot of killing for one person. Actually, now that you think about it, because
I'd have to rewatch it again and be thinking actively, how does this make sense? How could this just be him?
I like the Hollywood meta.
I thought that part was really cool, but yeah, I like that it was like that, and that it kind of picked fun at how the industry is too,
Yeah, and
brought to light things that shouldn't
that
exist. within it.
brought to light things that happen and happened way before the time. And it's funny because it's not funny, but it's ironic that a person that did those kind of things produced the film. So it was like kind of meta.
That's extra meta.
Yeah, that's a little much. And this is the only one Kevin Williamson didn't write other than the new one. He didn't write the new one either.
What else about this one puts it low for you?
That's a good question.
A big thing for me is the lack of a impactful death. And in the first
Yeah.
Scream, every death is impactful because we just were introduced to the cast. They're all meaningful characters. In 2, we lose Randy. But in 3, nobody that has truly meant something to us goes.
Yeah,
And
that's
so,
true.
At least when you look at the initial trilogy, to me, that's why it feels a little less impactful than the
Yeah,
others.
that's legit. And there's not many there's no Woodsboro. It doesn't really feel like Scream. It feels kind of weird. And there's a lot of dumb moments, like the moment when they're in the house, they're in Jennifer's house, the girl that plays Gail. She the killer's trying to keep him in the house, and he does the lighter thing to read the facts, and it says whoever smells the gas. I think that kill was kind of stupid. And the fact that they brought it back, like they said, trilogies always bring it back to the first, which can be said about any kind of sequel. But they kind of changed the impact that Billy and Stu had by saying Roman helped Billy learn how to, he was Billy's mentor in what he did.
So it goes back to
So
one,
it
but
made
also
Billy
makes it a little
less
worse.
impactful, I feel like. It made it so Billy had someone guiding him, and it just made the first one feel a little less impactful. I pretend that he didn't mentor Billy in my head, and I think the sequels do that too. They're just we're just not going to talk about that because I don't know.
They're not proud of it either.
Yeah,
maybe.
I love the intro killing scene. The Cotton and his girl, that was good. And
even though it uses the
Sydney
voice
kills
changer.
it in this one, even though it takes her a little while to actually be in the movie. They flash to her a couple times, and then they finally get her there. And it's not like the new one where she's just there to guide the cast through this event. She's actually in the movie.
She's the main role still.
Yeah,
It just takes
she's
her
still
while
a
to be
main
it.
role. So it's really odd that they did that. But I guess it was because she was in hiding, which makes sense because I'd be in hiding too after 2 incidents.
Yeah. So Scream 3 being definitely bottom of the barrel in comparison
For
to the
sure.
others.
But it's a good watch. It's definitely a good watch. I like the movie.
I like it too, just not as much as the ones we're about to talk about.
Yeah. Scream 4 would be our both number 4. We both agree on the last, the first, and the fourth. We're a little different on 2 and 3. And I'm still back and forth on
Me
2
too.
and 3. Yeah.
I like that Scream 4 is number 4 though. It's kind of
Yeah,
funny.
4. Yeah, that's meta, right?
I feel like 4 to me, I don't honestly really know why I don't put it higher, aside from the other ones just being better. There's nothing innately wrong with it. Again, there's no impactful death that really like shocks you and brings meaning to it.
I feel like 2, 3, and 4 ranking in this video is up for interpretation. Like tomorrow we may feel differently.
Yeah.
Like if we rewatch these films in like 2 months, I feel like we'd think of 2, 3, and 4 differently every time. So it's up for interpretation. We're set on 1 and 5.
1 and 5 are for but for me, this one's pretty solid.
Okay.
2 and 3 would rotate, or spots 2 and 3 would rotate. But Scream 4 being at 4 is kind of solid for me. Again, no impactful kill that like makes you feel a level of emotion is a big driving factor for it not being high for me. And then I really enjoyed it though. The new cast that's brought in is really
cast
cool.
is good.
The killers were unexpected for me. I
Me
had
too.
no idea who it was.
I loved Jill. I didn't really like the guy though, Charlie.
You didn't like his character? Or you
I
didn't like
liked
him as
his
the killer?
character. I didn't really like him as the killer because he
not?
tried so hard to imitate Randy, and he even says it. And I don't know. They just try to recreate the first one, kind of, but different. And I just think Jill was a stronger character, kind of like Billy was a stronger killer than Stu. Stu was a stronger character, in my opinion, but Jill was a stronger killer than Charlie. Because Charlie just wanted her, and she didn't want him. She just wanted fans.
Yeah,
she
she
just
wanted
pretended to-
admiration from
she was
the
like
masses,
a,
not
yeah,
from
she was
one.
a psychopath. But famous people are psychopathic.
I liked her motive a lot, honestly. Like,
Yeah, her motive
and-
was great.
and
It
the
was before
backstory
its
to
time.
build it up. Yeah,
I feel like it was before its time.
the seeking fame and the fact that it's built from like a resentment of the level of fame that is brought to her family
Yeah, for
through
sure.
Sydney.
And you haven't seen kills this brutal since the first one.
Yeah,
So when you see 4, it's like, oh, cool, we're getting back because 2 and 3, like after Columbine, like 2 was before Columbine, but movie violence was like an issue still, and 2000 was like right after. So like kills cut away a lot in those movies. Randy's the only one that I feel like that we saw, and it was through a mirror,
yeah.
you know. But this is where the kills start getting brutal again, and it's a good film. I hate the filter on the movie.
What do you mean?
There's like a filter on it. Like, watch it again. There's like apparently they did it on purpose to make it look like a remake from early 2000s, like a remake film. But like, look at the lights in the movie, like the car lights and like the lights.
I never picked up on that. honestly.
You've only seen it like once or twice, so
Yeah,
twice. Okay, so you did watch it again. Okay, but I love the killers. I love Sydney in it. I love Dewey is a little bit. Dewey and Gail could have probably done a little bit better, but I still like that they're married and having that little conflict going on. Like she's trying to be the small town person.
He kind
and
of
stuff.
annoyed me in that instance where
Yeah.
she is the one that does this, and he was not letting her be a part of it.
Yeah, that was kind of weird.
It was. They could have worked together and probably solved this thing way easier,
Yeah.
but no.
Nope. She had to go on her own and get stabbed. I hate the intro kill scene in this movie.
In 4?
Yeah.
I thought you said. Oh wait, no. Which one is this?
4 is the one where they swap.
Oh, this is the real meta one, right? Where we watch a bunch of deaths.
It doesn't make sense either because they had to make a movie based on the events of this film. I feel like that they wouldn't skip an opportunity like that. So, but they end at Stab 7, and then in Scream 5 they make Stab 8, and Stab 8 isn't the story of Stab 4. So,
Are we
Scream
sure
4.
on that? Have you looked?
I'm
into
pretty sure. I haven't looked into it, but I'm pretty sure. Like I'm pretty sure that they fucked up right there. I'll rewatch it. I'll watch it like tomorrow or something.
it? Sweet.
But yeah, Scream 4.
So then we've got for third place ranked. This is
Where
2 and 3 is where it gets tricky.
Yeah.
Where I think that the top 3 is going to start for me with Scream 2, actually.
Okay. Let's talk about Scream 2 then.
Scream 2 was phenomenal. When I first watched it, I thought, like, my initial thought after watching it is that it might be better than the original. But after I think that was more of like an emotional decision after having just
You did watch them
it.
back to back.
And now that I've watched them all another time, I've had a lot of time to think on it, sit on it. I would definitely put this film in the top 3. It could be argued for the number 2 spot.
For sure.
But I think the reason that the thing that sets the top 3 for me apart is impactful kills. You really feel when there's characters that you love and have grown attached to that die.
Yeah, Randy.
And the plot for this one felt really strong. The killer's motive made a lot of sense to me.
Yeah, revenge. Good old-fashioned revenge. And Mickey just wanted to be famous.
Yeah.
Not famous, but like he wanted to be in the movies. He wanted to play himself.
Yeah.
He was just a big movie freak, which worked, which has a link to number 1 because number 1's kind of like that. Like they're movie freaks and they bend the reality of film and real life, where Mickey just wanted to be in the movies because he was a movie addict.
He just wants to be a little actor.
Yeah, and you find out Debbie Salt, the reporter that keeps showing up to every kill very early, which is weird and sus.
I never picked up on it though until later.
I didn't either till like a couple watches or several watches, I guess. But you find out that she's Mrs. Loomis's or Billy's mom, Mrs. Loomis, and the only one from Woodsboro that notices is Sydney. It's weird that I just think it's really weird that Gail, Dewey, Randy, and none of them knew it. But we did have this discussion during the podcast. Check out our Scream 2 podcast. It's a long one. Stink bug right there. It's a long one. But we touch on where if she lost 70 pounds and had a makeover, it would be hard to notice her. But I don't think it would be hard to the aspect of, oh my gosh, like, I had no idea who this is type of thing. So that was kind of weird for me. But other than that, it's a pretty solid movie. The soundtrack's pretty good. I like the soundtrack. It's like 90s alternative music, like Creed and shit, I think. But yeah, number 2 is very solid. The first kills are awesome. I like Jada Pinkett's kill and her man Quincy Jones, I think.
I got no idea.
Their kills were really good. Phenomenal. The bathroom one's awesome. It probably wouldn't happen. Like, it's not a kill that makes sense. Like, how did he know he was going to be exactly right there?
Yeah.
You know? But it was still badass.
Yeah.
It was fucking awesome.
That scene when I got to finally see a Scream movie in theaters for the first time with this new one that came out, I kept thinking about that scene while sitting in the chair.
Right.
Like, it would be so meta if I got fucking killed
That
right
would
now.
be.
That's the one time I'd be content
We can wear
with
masks now. We're allowed to now.
Were you not allowed before?
You can't. No, you can't. You back before COVID, I think you were like frowned upon if you wore a mask. People would think you would be robbing. So it was kind of sus. Like, people were like, "You take off. You can't even wear a hood at the mall. You can't wear your hood up."
Really?
Yeah.
That's a little weird.
Yeah.
My head's cold, motherfucker.
Yeah. So we're gonna talk about number 2. My number 2 is Scream 2, and number 3 would be the new Scream for me. But number 2, Zayd, yours is the new
2
one.
and 3 could easily switch.
Yeah,
it's so weird.
for sure.
The new one was fucking good. I felt so good after watching that movie. I was like, I wanted to rewatch all of them again. Like, it reignited.
I did, I think. I don't know if I did or not. Yeah, I did. Yeah, this one's really good.
I think the things that set this one apart from 2 for me are, again, like, not again, but actually, yeah, again, the with the top 3, I feel like there has to be an impactful kill that makes you feel, and the level of emotion I felt when Dewey died exceeded that of any emotion I felt during any movie in this franchise.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Like,
yeah, I guess I could admit that too, because Dewey is such a, like, we have 5 movies of Dewey, Gail, and Sydney. It's gonna be like we're overdue for
someone
one of
to
them
die.
dying. Like they're gonna just keep living. That's not reasonable.
I think the fact that they made the relationship dynamic between him and Gale so rocky there made it hurt even more, because like this moment, while being an awful thing, there's a killer on the loose, brought them back together, and you can see their like emotions reigniting for one another. Not reigniting because they weren't gone, but they're like forced to deal with that emotion, and then it's all just like stripped away as Dewey gets fucking gutted in the middle of the hospital.
It was nuts.
And like I literally was starting to tear up a little bit. I had to repress tears. And
yeah,
not
and
cry
he
in the
kills
theater.
it in this movie. David Arquette, the actor of Dewey Riley, plays probably arguably his best job in any of these movies. Honestly, he does great in this film. He gets an A for me in this movie. He does so good, and I think that makes it even worse because he acts like this. He's like this grandfather, like a wise grandfather role, like father figure, but he's also helping them survive at the same time. He just made a bad mistake, which is weird because you'd think he'd be an expert at this by now.
Yeah.
But he goes back, and then Gale calls him, and bye-bye, Dewey. We'll miss you.
That hurt, dude. That hurt.
But I don't. There are some bad things about this movie. I don't like the new characters as much. I like Wes. Wes is cool. The twins are okay.
I really
But
like a
I
lot
would have
of
been
them,
okay if
honestly.
they all died.
Jeez.
Yeah, I would have been okay with it if everybody died in this movie. But they're not, because I think they're rebooting it. We're gonna get sequels. I feel like
We better.
Oh yeah, for
I'm
sure.
really hoping for it.
For sure.
I can't wait to
That many
re-rank
wouldn't
them.
have lived if we weren't going to. I feel like.
I like the a lot about this movie is that they kind of really flipped it where the first kill wasn't a kill too. That was very
Yeah, I like that
unexpected.
too because the scene was amazing too. The scene was so good, and you'd think it'd be that good that they just do it like how they used to been.
Do you think now in hindsight, knowing the killers, that was intentional? That they didn't completely kill her? They probably needed her to live to bring the
Maybe.
sister into the town and stuff.
Maybe. I don't know. I feel like they wanted to kill her. I feel like they did. Because either way, even if she died, she'd still come home.
Yeah, for the funeral. at
So
least.
I think she just got lucky and survived.
So why do you think you would put 2 above this one?
Because it feels... I like the characters more. Cotton Weary, Mickey, Randy, the big three. The scenery's pretty good. The college scenery. It's still 90s, which is cool. Which doesn't really matter because they did a very good job, even though this is a brand new movie. Like the setting's perfect. Woodsboro's perfect. They bring Stu's house back. Amber's psychotic. I didn't like the boyfriend thing. And I thought the flashbacks to Billy were a little weird.
Like him being... Like her being crazy and seeing
Yeah,
him.
yeah, that was a little weird.
I'm excited to see how they play off of that, though, if they do more films. Like, I feel like she could easily become a killer.
Yeah, she probably could, but she's definitely the Sidney Prescott now.
Yeah, or her
Which
sister could be.
I don't think
know.
she was strong enough in her role to pull off
Really?
the new Final Girl. Yeah, I think she has some time to develop a little more.
That's
Which
fair.
which can happen. Like, I'm not gonna say she did terrible.
Yeah, she
That's
was
not
fine,
true. I
but-
just think she's has some time and I think the end is where she developed the most because you realize that she's fucking nuts too. She's just on the good side of the tracks rather than
Yeah.
being crazy, or not crazy because she's crazy, but on like the killing. Like she kills for good, I guess. She's psychotic, but
She's like
she's
Batman.
our psycho. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah,
The psycho you can root for.
yeah, for sure. Wes's kill was really good. This is the best kill. These are the best kills in the new one. Best kills. Easy.
Yeah, this movie's kills were fucking fantastic.
Graphic. Yep. Gale did good. Sydney did good, and they did. I feel like now that I think about it, I think they were in the movie just enough.
Just
Now that-
enough.
Yeah, just enough.
Enough to
maybe
let-
a little more Sydney, but just enough.
You get to like experience them. It's like exciting,
It's a
but it also
reboot.
lets the new characters
Or
shine.
not a reboot. It's a requel. It's like perfect requel meta that they did. I think they did a good job. It'd be cool if they made the new one Scream Kills. That'd be funny.
I would like that a lot.
Yeah,
actually.
me
That'd
too.
be funny as fuck.
But number one, I mean, this is
Easy.
literally one of the best horror movies of all time. In
The
my
one that
opinion.
started it all.
Wes Craven
Scream 1, baby.
Yeah, Wes Craven decided to make a meta movie. The script was originally called Scary Movie by Kevin Williamson, and after that, Kevin Williamson blew the fuck up. He started getting a shitload of work, and none of them were as good as this
the original
movie.
script was called Scary Movie?
Yeah.
Is that why the movie Scary Movie
I
exists?
think so.
That's funny.
I think so.
That's like a meta movie
Yeah.
making fun of Scream, right?
I think that is why it's called Scary Movie.
That's
because
funny as hell. I did
it
not
is.
know that.
It is.
Oh,
But they changed it to Scream. I think Scream sounds better anyway. Because Scary Movie, the title's a little too meta.
You
know what I mean?
I think if it would have been a one-off, that's like a really good
That would have been
title.
good, yeah, but it's a
to
saga.
develop a series, yeah.
It's a little too meta. But this is Drew Barrymore. Like, they put the biggest name, okay? Wes Craven takes the biggest name in, honestly, Hollywood almost at the time. Well, she hasn't been in it. She wasn't in much before that, but she's
What
E.T.
was she in?
E.T., Firestarter. Like, she's in so many films. Like, she's one of the biggest names of all time and kills her first. Well, she killed her boyfriend first, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
She's in the beginning kill scene, and she kills it. She was originally supposed to be Sydney.
Really?
Yeah, but because of casting issues, and it really upsetted Wes. But then, like, she called Drew on the phone, or called someone on the phone. I saw an interview. I have a documentary on my Blu-ray series. I didn't give you those, but they said, how would it be like to say "fuck you, Hollywood," like killing Drew Barrymore first? And he was like, okay, you got me. So that's what they did. And we see we see Wes Craven in a Freddy sweater in one of the good kill scenes with the principal. I like that. Randy at his peak.
Peak Randy.
We got Stu Macher, one of the best. I think he's my favorite killer. He's so energetic and such a big personality, and his motive is basically pure pressure. Like, his motive was kind of like 90s-esque, where he just got persuaded by a friend, like a crazy friend. You know what I mean? Like, it was really
he didn't even
good.
really have a dog in the race. It's just like,
Yeah, he was
hey,
just
let's
like,
fucking
fuck it,
kill.
you know? And his improv was really good. Gail's cutthroat as shit. Dewey, charming, great, but cute, innocent, clumsy sheriff or deputy, I guess, at the time.
Deputy at the time.
Sydney, best final girl of all time. Yeah, dude, this is the best. This is my favorite horror movie.
Me too.
This is my favorite horror movie of all time.
It's hard for your
It's
favorite
easy number
horror
one.
movie to not be number one on the list.
Yeah,
of
for sure.
movies
Of a
within the
ranking of,
franchise.
yeah, for sure. It's the best.
I think another
it's
big
awesome.
thing that like makes this movie higher on the list, like even if you were to like really break it down and you could find out that just like if there was a way to put a statistic to it that like,
Yeah,
say
like a
two-
science, yeah.
if there were a science behind it and say 2 or 5 were to somehow like scientifically be quote unquote better movies, I think that the emotion that stems from the first one that became enough to like I didn't even like horror films, and
Yeah,
this
exactly.
made me get into them. So it's really hard to give any movie at all, let alone a movie in the franchise, a higher ranking than it seemed, just for like what it did for me in my film enjoying experience.
Yeah,
you
it's
know?
so good. I just got the 4K Steelbook
Hell
25-year
yeah.
anniversary. My Blu-ray box set's signed by Matthew Lillard, who plays Stu Macher, which is cool. I would have liked to see him back in the new one. Oh, and did you know that they killed that guy that was hitting on the Randy's nephew's girlfriend because he was Stu's sister's son? But they talked about it so fast that we kind of missed it, and they didn't focus on it.
If you would have asked me, do you know the relation of that guy, I would have said no. But when you tell me what happened, I remember them vaguely saying it.
I think that was kind of a missed opportunity that they should have either waited for or put more focus on.
Yeah.
They just killed him.
Yeah.
But
Also, the killing of him, for me, made it look like it kind of threw Randy's
maybe that's why they
nephew
did it.
under the bus a
Yeah,
little
maybe
bit. Made
that's
me
why they
suspect
did
him
it. Yeah. But no, that's not why. It's because
of family ties.
yeah, I guess so. That was kind of a waste of a kill.
They
I
also
feel
could have accused Randy's nephew more
Yeah.
under that circumstance. Like this guy comes in, is messing with your girlfriend, and then dies. Hey, that's a
Yeah.
little fucking shady, don't you think?
I think Scream might be, other than Halloween, like, it's probably the second this is bold, and I'm probably gonna get flagged for this, but I think it's easily one of the most influential and best slashers of all time.
I think that's fair. I've not seen them all yet, but it's my favorite.
But I
I've seen.
really think that's true because there's Psycho there's Black Christmas and Psycho, so that's like old school, so like the first pioneers of slashers. And then there's like what slashers ended up turning into, and that'd be Halloween. And then there's Scream, which is what slashers turned into after Scream.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like this is like a generational.
Definitely like a monumental movie.
For sure. This is one of the best movies I've ever. This is like my favorite movie. Honestly,
it's up there for me.
This
too.
is my favorite movie.
Favorite horror for sure, up there on favorites of all time.
Me too.
Probably top 5.
Me too.
That's
for
a
sure.
different list for a different day, though, guys.
But yeah, that's our list, baby.
Yeah, let us know yours in the comments.
Yeah, let us know. Tell us how stupid we are in the comments, but
and I'll
keep
tell
it
you how
civil
stupid you are.
because we all have opinions.
Yeah, so that's
It's
about
not
it.
wrong.
Thank you for watching.
Yeah.
Check out our podcast on these films if you want to hear more
Yeah,
detailed
Panel
breakdown
Persona,
on any of them.
baby. Like, subscribe, comment.
Deuces.
Peace.